Hotep family, this is your RBG brother, Guy Nollywood Jr., and coming to you another real, live video. I was reading, I was reading something what made me, what inspired me to do this video. And I was reading, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a religious person. But I would say one of the best books that I like to read in the Bible is Proverbs. I love Proverbs. One of the scriptures that I read was Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22, chapter 22, verse 24 and 25. It says, "Don't make friends with people who have hot, violent tempers. You might learn their habits and not be able to change." Let me read that again. Proverbs 22, verse 24, 25. Don't make friends with people who have hot, violent tempers. You might learn their habits and not be able to change. And the reason why sorry about that. Okay. The reason why I said that because it's this individual from the crazy house, and he decided to keep making videos about just attacking the RBG Nation, attacking the Black First Movement. And remind you, I'm thinking when we was all together, when we had Brother Bakari and Maurice, I thought we was all cool. I thought everything was over. But this guy is still making videos and stuff like that. And just, and I realize you can't make friends with people like who just got a nasty, who just have a lot of hatred. You can't, have a lot of self-hate. You can't make friends with people like that. And this individual named Talik Amarad, who has an Arab name, he might call him, sometimes you might know him as Angel Snub 7. This dude was the cause, and I want to make this perfectly clear. He was the cause of and the instigator of between me and Brother Maurice beef, right? He was the cause of the beef between me and Brother Maurice Muhammad. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me in the past. And then I'm going to relate it to the situation that happened last year. In the summer of 2006, and between 2006 and 2008, I got into an altercation, and I got into a physical fight. 2006, it was this guy named Stewart, who he was a co-worker. And I didn't have no problem with Stewart. I thought me and Stewart was cool. There was another individual named Eli. Now he was a temp. He was a temp, wasn't making no money. But these guys, when you look at these guys act like they from the streets, and these guys was, you know, you would think these guys were big bad, you know, big bad dudes. But Stewart was a drunk. He was a drunk. And we was in remember in the summertime we was invited, another colleague of mine, he's no longer, he retired, but he invited us to Long Island. He had a nice pool in the back, beautiful home, and he invited everybody, you know, from the people from the job to his house. That was on a weekend. And we all got there, you know. Even I was contacting Stewart. I was like, hey, you know, just checking on him, see if he's on his way, blah blah blah, this and that. And you know, everything was good. But I didn't. But of course, he was twisted when he got to the house. So you know, I'm talking to another colleague, and he said something that was very disrespectful. Stewart said something to me. Said something, not really to me, but he was saying things that I didn't like. He was slandering me. So I told him to chill with that. You know, I'm not, you know, whatever you saying is, you know, I'm not like that, whatever. So I think it was over. And he said it again. And this time I blew up. He didn't like it. So Stewart got in my face. So we was about to throw down. We was about to fight. Well, I was ready to fight. You know, he just stood there. He looked like he didn't know what to do. But he got in my face, and you know, he got in my face. I got up. You know, I was sitting down at the time. I got up and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was about to, you know, I threw up my hands. I was like, "Yo, let's do it." But of course, people got involved. They broke it up. And I guess Stu didn't like the fact that I stood up for myself. But I didn't know at the long run he was jealous of me. I didn't know why. So I asked Eli, you know, because I didn't have no problem with Eli. I thought me and Eli was cool. And I said, "Yo, E, what's up with what's up with this dude?" Like, you know, because you know Eli was, you know, rolling with him. He was getting tight with him. So he was like, "No, man, leave it alone, man, leave it alone." So I kind of knew right there he already took sides. So I'm like, all right. When we got back to the job that Monday, then the harassment starts. Stewart starting to harass me on the job, you know. So I was just like, okay, what's up? You know. So he didn't want to do nothing. So he started to coach Eli. Now, remind you, Stewart was he was pushing 50. He was like in his late 40s. At the time, I was in my early 30s. I think I was like 32. Eli was probably in his mid 30s. So he was in that 30 age range. So everybody started gassing him up, and you know, and he started coaching Eli and said, "Yeah, if I was you, I would do this and do this." So, but Eli looked at it like, "Well, I'm on your side," telling Stewart, "I'm on you." He was taking Stewart's side. Make a long story short, uh, one day I think around this that's lasted, you know, till 2008, and me and Eli had gotten into a fight. Stewart knew this because we went. We was like one of the colleagues would sometimes get together, and we would go on the boat ride that take us around, you know, the city. We would have free tickets, and Eli came on the boat. You know, he came on the boat, and I'm like, wow, okay. So in the meantime, before we had that fight, you know, I was trying to talk to him. I was like, "Yo, man, I don't got no beef with you. I only get my beef was with Stewart." But Eli looked at it like, well, that's my homie, and he's gonna ride with him. And if you got a beef with him, you got beef with me. So I said, okay, if you want to take his ass whipping, okay, so be it. So we got into a fight. In 2008, we had a physical fight. And that fight only lasted for 2 minutes. That fight only lasted for 2 minutes. That's how quick the fight was. And I didn't know. And see, because and the reason how he did it, after the boat came back and to his destination, I was trying to leave the park, and somebody said, "Yo, watch your back." And Eli sucker punched me. And one thing, when I'm in rage, I black out. When I'm in rage, I black out. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about getting arrested. I don't care about getting, whatever. So I just know. Last thing I remember, I just remember having this dude on the ground, and he was crying. And like I said again, people were shocked, right? It was a quick fight. Stewart wasn't even there, but he knew the fight was going to pop off. And there was another guy named Curtis there. And when Curtis, he went back and told Stewart, he said, yo, Stu, he told Stewart that me and Eli had to fight. So Stewart said, oh, word? Well, who won the fight? So Curtis said, well, looking on Eli's face, he looks defeated. He was really messed up. I mean, his guy was bleeding from the eyes and the nose. He was really bruised up. But he said, he was telling Stewart he didn't see how I looked. So Stewart said, well, go back and see. So Stewart told Curtis to check on me, to see if I got any bruises on my face. Now I didn't have any bruises. I didn't have no cuts, nothing on my face. I was like Muhammad Ali. I was looking pretty. So when Curtis saw my face, he was looking all in my face to see if I got any scratch on my face. And he couldn't find that, because I was telling Curtis, like, what are you looking at? He was like, oh, no, I'm just checking, And then when he went back to Stewart, he said, damn, man, I saw homie's face, and he didn't have nothing on his face, no cuts, nothing, no bruises. So Stewart said, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what Stewart said. He said, well, I'm out of it. He told Curtis, he said he didn't have no problems with me. He said that he was only playing. So he said, oh, that's between me. He said, oh, that was between me and Eli. He said that was Eli's problem. So he put his own homeboy under the bus, left him out to dry. His hands, he was out of it. He stayed out of it. Even when Eli came to him for some backup, he refused to help Eli out. And the beef wasn't even about Eli. It was about me and Stewart. But me and Stewart did not fight. He was out of it. Let's fast forward. This Angel Snuffs Up coward. When that whole shit down, when he was on, when he set Craig up to bash Brother Muhammad, all that was, he used that platform because he knew that was going to break up the unity among the brothers. And my brother Maurice Muhammad, peace to him, he had every right to be upset. My brother had every right to be upset. And when brother Muhammad was upset with Craig, with brother Craig, Talik, he was out of it. He was out of it. He didn't defend Craig. He left Craig out to dry. He could have came on the panel and he could have said, he could have told Maurice, he could have said, yo, that's not Craig's fault. I'll take the heat for it. Let me come on your panel. I'll take the heat. Did he come on the panel? No. He sat there and watched the whole thing and watched Craig take the fall. And soon that me and brother Muhammad, and he knew it was going to affect me, as soon as me and brother Muhammad started beefing, all of a sudden, Talik stopped making videos about Maurice. And then he started talking about other things. All of a sudden, he was out of it. He didn't want to be involved. He didn't want to be involved. And he was hoping, and he didn't give a fuck that the intensity of that beef, to the point that lives was being threatened. He was looking at two warriors. And only thing Talik was waiting was who was going to shed the first blood. And then he'll turn around and if anybody, if one of us had shed the first blood, Talik would just make a video saying, well, see how those pro-blacks are? You see how they kill each other? He was waiting. He was no different than that William O'Neill that set up Fran Hampton and Mark Clark. He's no different. The man has a hatred for unity. He has a hatred. And I want to just say this out here. I want to just say this before I forget. To my brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, if you're listening, if you ever have Angel Snuffs up on your panel, please do not invite me on your panel with that nutcase. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. Because the man is a coward. Because my thing is like this: if you had all that shit to say, how come you didn't say it, Angel Snup? If you listening, Talik Amarad, if you have all that shit to say about the RBG Nation and Black First Movement, if you have all that shit to say, how come you didn't say it when I was on Brother Bakari's panel? Where was that big talk then, punk? So I want to say peace to my brother Bakari, and I hope he's listening. But I will not no longer. I can't be on that panel, be on your panel if that nutcase is on there. I'm not gonna be. I can't speak for my brother Maurice, but I'll just say please don't invite me on your panel if you got that nutcase on there. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. I try to be nice. I thought I was being brotherly. But it's obvious this man is still hurting. He's still hurting, but I don't care. He's still hurting. But that's not my problem. He need to man up and take his ass whipping. Because it was because of that monster that had me fighting with my brothers. He had me and Craig fight. He had me and brother Muhammad fighting. Those are my brothers. And thanks to brother Craig, me, I got, me and my brother Muhammad made amends. We came together as brothers again, thanks to brother Craig. So I want to just share that with you. But I'm going to screen share and address a couple of things. I want to screen share. I want to address a couple of things what this nutcase has said, because I want to just straighten this shit out. I have to straighten this shit out because when something bothers me, I'm going to address it. I'm going to address it. Okay, first, let me see if I can screen share this real quick. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to screen share this real quick. Okay. Now this is where his video was called RBG Black First are Two-Faced Negroes. Now I already know who he was talking about. He was talking about me and brother Muhammad. And this is what he said. This is what he said to show that he has love for swirling in a homosexual lifestyle. Let me see if I can cut this up. Here we go. Technical difficulty. So what I was saying, if you so damn black first, then why don't you concentrate on the person being black first? I'm gonna say it again. If you black first, then why don't you concentrate on a person being black first? Talk about their education, or they gay, or they married to a white man, a white woman. Who gives a damn? You're supposed to be black first. This shows that how they are a bunch of hypocrites. Now he said that this moron said it doesn't matter if the person is gay or if they swirling. We supposed to be, as long as they're black, we supposed to accept them. We supposed to accept them. Now, I'm going to show you his contradictory, because he said soul represent life. Okay? Now, first of all, he said soul don't have no color. He said soul don't have no color. So if soul don't have no color, then why the hell you gonna come out your mouth and say, but your title says soul is the best identity to describe black people. Black is a color. So soul, that means, according to him, anybody could be called soul. They said Elvis had soul. They said Tinny Marie. That means black, yellow, red. Anybody can have soul. Soul don't have no color. And then he said soul is the essence of life. Now I'm gonna play you, because this is coming from him. I don't make commentaries. I back up. I show receipts. I show receipts. Okay. So let me play this. Let me screen share this real quick. See, I show receipts. Where's that one at? Let me see something. So I show receipts. So I'm going to play this and listen to what he says.
You think that you're different from them. You're not. You're the same. Soul takes us up out of racism because soul has no color. It's the essence of life.
There you go. He says soul has no color. So if soul don't have no color, then what the hell you say that soul is the best identity to describe black people? That means anybody can be called soul. So he's showing that he's an integrationist. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to the soul crap. He says soul is the essence of life. Soul is the essence of life. Homosexuality don't give life. If you claim it's the essence of life, then why are you representing why are you representing black people who practices homosexuality? Now you want to talk about ancient, then you want to ridicule and bash and make mockery of people who studying their history, studying their African roots or African culture, like ancient Kemet, where the Egyptians and pharaohs practice spirituality, where spirituality is nothing but energy that creates what? Life. Didn't African people worship the sun or praise the sun? Because what does the sun does is a ball of energy that creates life. Without the sun, nothing grows. Without the sun, we won't get vitamin D. Water is another form of life that creates life. The soil that creates life. Okay? The wind, the air gives life, because without it, we would die. Those are the four elements. These are energies that creates life. But you talking about homosexuality, and well, you supposed to be black first. It doesn't matter if they're homosexuality. Whoa, wait a minute. Our people don't practice homosexuality. That's not black first. Then you want to make mockery and bash and ridicule the RBG nation. You want to make fun. Where the RBG nation represent the trinity of the black woman and the African man and the African woman that produce what? Life, which is the child. So how is it you're going to make mockery of that and bash? You're contradictory. You should embrace it. If you claim that soul is the essence of life, well, don't RBG represent life? Don't we represent the African man, the African man, the woman, and child? You know, you want to talk about ancient Kemet and bash ancient Kemet. Ancient Kemet practices spirituality, which is nothing, which is energy that creates life. I'm gonna play this again. Let me play this again.
Because everything that come out your mouth, oh, the melanin. I'm perfectly happy in my own skin. Because I'm free. Because I'm independent. I don't need your happy ass. Roll out.
Let me play this again. Okay, I move back a little bit.
Trapped in their race garbage. And when you talk, you sound like a racist wannabe. Because everything that come out your mouth, oh, the melanin. And we great because of the black skin and what these dark skinned people, you sound like them. racist. And they know it. You're nothing but a dark-skinned version of them. You think that you're different from them. You're not. You're the same. Soul takes us up out of racism because soul has no color. It's the essence of life.
So soul don't have no color. But he says it should be good. So it should be the good description to call black people. But black is a color. The word human. If you break the word you and man, HUE means color, means melanin. That's what you means. But he said soul don't have no color. It's if you represent life, then why would you bash ancient Kemet who practice spirituality that is pro-life? Why would you bash the RBG Nation, which is pro-life? I'm a little confused. Now I'm going to move on to this one. Let me close this out. Okay, give me 1 second. And I'm going to screen share something else. And I'm going to break this up a little bit. And because this is, I just want to clear things up. I have to clear things up. Let me see, where was that one? Okay. Now, this is another video where he's accusing of the RBG Nation flagging his videos. First of all, nobody ain't flagging your videos. Nobody's not really watching your videos. The only reason why I came upon these videos because of word of mouth. Of word of mouth. Nobody watching your videos. Nobody don't give a damn about your videos. Because like I said, when you pass away, your videos will pass away with you. You mean nothing. So this is the type of rhetoric that he's saying to make him feel like he's a victim. Oh, these RBG names, oh, these pro-blacks, oh, they flagging my video. Who's flagging your video? You ain't saying shit. You ain't saying nothing important for us to flag your videos. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna play this, and I'm gonna chop it up a little bit. And I'm gonna go back. Let me see. You go back here. Want to make sure I got it down pat. Okay, here we go.
You know those ships.
And okay, in this one, he bashes Marcus Garvey. He bashed Marcus Garvey. He don't like Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is one of our ancestors who set the foundation of consciousness. And like my brother Bakari said, Marcus Garvey is a prophet. He's our prophet. And he totally bashed Marcus Garvey. The disrespect is unbelievable. And this is what he says about the ships that Marcus Garvey had produced.
But the reality of it was Marcus Garvey was incompetent. The reality of it was they bought some ships that should have been at the junkyard, the ship junkyard.
Now you heard what he said? He said Marcus Garvey was incompetent. Marcus Garvey bought some ships that should have been in the junkyard. Now, my question is, how the fuck would you know? Were you there? Did you see the ships? Did you took pictures of the ships to see if it really looked like it's supposed to be in the junkyard? How would you know? You wasn't there. You didn't go inside. But this is the put down that he says. Because you got to understand, this crazy man wants to be popular. He wants to be known. He wants to be famous. And he don't like it where everybody that's getting all this attention and he's not. He's making all these videos, making all these controversies just to get attention, just to get views. Now I'm going to replay you what he says again about what he said about Marcus Garvey. The hatred is unbelievable.
Very proud. I would be proud too. You know, those ships. But the reality of it was Marcus Garvey was incompetent.
Let me go back. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back.
They bought 3 ships. Now, what they don't tell us, on the outside, it looked all good. And, you know, brothers and sisters during that time, they was very proud. I would be.
So he was saying how from the outside that he said Marcus Garvey bought 3 ships. He said on the outside, it looks really good. But if it looks good, why would it be in a junkyard? If it looks good, I'm a little confused. But listen to what he says about Marcus Garvey.
Proud too. You know, those ships. But the reality of it was Marcus Garvey was incompetent. The reality of it was they bought some ships that should have been at the junkyard, the ship junkyard. Scrap. They should have been made into scrap metal. These peckerwood, because you know we don't
see. He's putting these ships down. He said it should have been in a junkyard. Should have been scrap metal. Now, why would you say that? Now you notice he didn't talk about the Titanic like that. I would say the Titanic was definitely scrap metal. The way that ship fell apart, it was built cheap. But why would you say that about Marcus Garvey ships? You know? And see, this is the self-hate I cannot be around. One thing about this dude, he's a spirit killer. He kills your spirit. Our spirit is our spirit, or spirituality give us energy to motivate us to want us to do better. Some of us are trying. We're trying. And you know what? Angel Snump, he's not helping us. He's not joining forces and say, you know what? Let me help you. What do you need for me to help you? But no, he wanted to sit back, drive the white man's truck, drive the white man's product to his destination, making the white man richer and richer, and while he talked bad about his people. I'm going to show you another clip, another frame. Let me see if I can find it. Right around here. I don't want to go too far back. I'll stop right there.
You know how silly they are. I don't have time for that kind of.
Now in this frame, he talks about me. And he said something about we was about to be in some debate. And I called them all types of names and all this other stuff, which that's not true. That don't even sound like me. But I want you to hear what he said because I want to know what debate that he's talking about, and I want him to prove it. I want him to do some screen sharing like I'm doing. I want him to pull out his receipts.
I tried to talk to this guy, this RBG Nation guy, Nollywood person, and before we can even get the debates, the conversation started, he starts crying and calling people coons and sambos and all these. Man, nobody don't have no time for that kind of stuff.
Now I'm going to replay that again. I want people to hear what this idiot said, which is not true at all, because I want to know when you mean we had a debate? When did this happen? You know, he has to pull out receipts. He had to show me proof. That don't even sound like something I would do.
You know how silly they are. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. I tried to talk to this guy, this RBG Nation guy, Nollywood person, and before we can even get the debates, the conversation started, he starts crying and calling people coons and sambos and all these. Man, nobody don't have no time for that kind of stuff.
Now, first of all, that's not true at all. I don't know what he's talking about. He will have to show receipts. Other than that, he's just talking out his ass. And I don't know if he still feel that he's still butthurt of the because I ethered him in my last video. But it's obvious he's still hurt. He's still crying. He's still trying to, I guess, to make a comeback. But his arguments is weak. It's weak. Okay? His arguments is totally weak. Now I'm going to show you another frame. Let me see if I can find it right here. Let me see something. Okay.
These are the people that love us. Okay, yeah, I get it. I will continue.
Now listen what he says. Now you want to talk about hate and the venom. Listen what he says.
To speak out against all this black stuff.
Now watch this. Listen what he says.
You start calling them names. You're damn skippy. Speed warning. Because I don't love them. I don't like them. They're a bunch of pieces of trash.
Now, who do you think he sound like? Don't he sound like Tommy Sotomayor? And matter of fact, he said he likes Tommy Sotomayor. He listens to Tommy Sotomayor. So this is the reason why he get this from. He get this hatred. When you hear Tommy Sotomayor, when he got punched in the face, he said, I wish all these black men would get gunned down by the police. This is what he said. And he sounds just like Tommy Sotomayor. He said he hates us. He said he has no love for us. And this is what he says. Let me play this again. This is the hatred. Because Tommy Sotomayor is his idol. And he's copying what Tommy Sotomayor is saying. Now I'm going to play this again.
These are the people that love us. Okay, yeah, I get it. I will continue to speak out against all this black stuff. yourself calling them names. You're damn skippy.
Speed warning.
Because I don't love them. I don't like them. They're a bunch of pieces of trash.
He said, we have nothing but a bunch of pieces of trash. Wow. This man is on the verge of on some, like he really have hatred. He really has hatred. You know, this self-hate is really bad. It's an epidemic among our people. And we haven't done that to this man. We haven't harmed this man. We haven't affected his income. We haven't tried to get him fired. We ain't trying to threaten his life. I'm minding my own business. I'm not even bothering this man. But he has hatred for me. He has hatred for Brother Muhammad or anybody that's trying to do good, that's trying to do good and do right by our people. He don't like that. And he sounds like he wants to do something about it. Okay? I'm going to play you another frame. Let me see. Let me see. Somewhere around here. Oh, I think it went back a little bit. Let's do it this way. I want to go too back.
Sisters was doing it anyway. The only thing that stopped them was them racist ass peckerwoods in the South. That's what stopped them. Like many of the things that we try to do. These racists stop us. So when you make mockery of the Mississippi campaign, you're not making mockery of me. You're making mockery of the ancestors that you claim that you love. See, that goes to show you that these people are hypocrites. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
So he said that if I make he said something about if I make mockery of the Mississippi campaign, I'm making mockery of the answer. But you just made mockery of Marcus Garvey. You talked about the man's ships. You made mockery of Malcolm X. And now you're making mockery of Marcus Messiah Garvey. So I don't know what ancestors you could be talking about when you're the one who's making ridicule of our ancestors. But maybe they're not your ancestors. I don't know who your ancestors are. Because definitely it's not Malcolm is not your ancestors. Marcus Garvey is not your ancestors. You made perfectly clear that, because I'm not going to bash them. I'm not going to bash them. I would never come out my mouth talking about them. Marcus Garvey's ship should be should be scrap metal. I would never come out my mouth to say something like that. And I'm gonna play this last frame here.
Bunch of hypocrites. Everything about them they use come from the white man. Alquan, that troll Alquan just made a video. And an old white woman was parking a car.
Now in this frame, he talks about Alquan being with white women. But on the other hand, I just proved to you saying that, well, if you supposed to be black first, it doesn't matter if you're homosexual. It doesn't matter if you're swirling. You should be about black first. So what does it matter if Alquan is messing with white women? According to him, it shouldn't even matter. And the only reason why that he's saying that is because I was the one who exposed it. I believe last year, early last year, I was the one who exposed, because him and Alquan used to be best friends. They used to be tight. And now he's running. Now he's taking what I said or taking what I done, and he's running with it. But since you claim that you for your people, you claim you doesn't matter if they swirling. So what if Alquan is messing with white women? You should be cool with it, according to you. But he wants to talk about Alquan and his white women.
He stopped making his video to talk about the old white woman that's parking her car. He got to acknowledge them. Bunch of hypocrites.
Construction ahead.
So that's what he's dissing Alquan about him being with white women, but the same token, he said he's for all black people. Doesn't matter if you're swirling, doesn't matter if you're homosexual. So my question is, if you don't have a problem with swirling, Talik, Amarad, Angel Snup, if you don't have a problem, well, why are you dissing Alquan and his white women? Or whoever he's sleeping with? Now, you, on the other hand, you're a homosexual because you got caught with that dude Talib, and you paid him to stay over your house. You didn't bring no woman over there. You paid him all the way from Nebraska to be with you, so to warm your bed. This is the reason why you don't have a problem with homosexuality. This is the problem you don't have with people with swirling. So why are you picking on Alquan and his white women? Doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm going to put on another frame here. And he mentioned Talib and that mammy chick who's totally confused. Noble Levine, or whatever her name is, Alberta, that's her real name, Alberta. But he don't even give Craig, no, he don't even acknowledge Craig. I noticed that he do not acknowledge Craig.
I want to send a shout out to
He's gonna send a shout out, but he only gonna send a shout out for two people.
To my partners in crime, Sister Noble, Levine, and of course our brother Talib.
Let me play that again. Now I remember that brother Craig, was, I guess, really admired this dude. And I've heard Craig said multiple times that, he loved watching Talik's videos. I even remember that when Craig had gave him, had honored him. When Craig did one of his videos, he had honored Talik. Now all of a sudden, Talik, once again, shitting on Craig.
But this needs to be said. We have to stress that we're traveling. I want to send a shout out to my partners in crime, Sister Noble, Levine, and of course our brother Talib.
And see, and that's all he mentioned. You know, so he didn't. I'm very surprised he didn't mention Craig. Why he didn't mention Craig? I'm just wondering. I thought Craig was your boy. So I thought that was a slap in the face. I really thought that was a slap in the face. I want to put up another video where he talks about how how there are black people that he actually admitted, because of his lack of research, that black people were shipped over here as slaves and somehow landed in Mississippi. I'm going to pull up that video. Okay? Let me see something here. Okay. Let me delete this. Just give me 1 second. I don't need this. And I don't need this. Okay. I'm going to put up this video. And I want you to listen what he says and about how Africans from I believe it was Liberia, and they landed in Mississippi, and once they had a chance to and how they left Mississippi to go back home. Now, I want you to just listen to him, listen to him how he admitted how there were black people that came over here as slaves and went back home to Africa.
But they left physically.
Well, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back.
In Mississippi.
Let me go back. Let me go back to I'll stop here.
Hey, my brother, Foot of Doom, I was watching his video talking about the African nation of Liberia in earlier videos, but due to my lack of research,
he said, due to my lack of research. He's always dissing people who do all this research. He don't like research. He don't like scholarship. And now you could tell he looks stupid. He looks dumb. You could tell the way he in this video, he had to come clean. He actually admitted that black people came from Africa. Let me play this again. Let me play this again. Because I want people to understand the fuckery that this dude is about.
In earlier videos, but due to my lack of research, I did not know that the original ancestors.
He said the original ancestors. So if African people is not your people, and we supposed to be a different breed and all this other stuff, Why would you consider them your ancestors? Talik, could you answer that question? Why would you consider African people, these people that came from Africa that was in chains, in shackled, your ancestors?
Ancestors of Liberia, actually, they were raised as slaves in Mississippi. So isn't it ironic that those who are in Liberia, the ones who actually went to the continent of Africa, where y'all claim, some of you, that is, some of you talk about going back to Africa. Isn't it ironic that the people came from Mississippi? That there is something about Mississippi, folks, that has got to be special.
Now, first of all, they did not come from Mississippi. They was brought to Mississippi. You just said they came from Africa. So that means they were shackled and probably somehow landed in Mississippi. Because Mississippi also owned slaves like Virginia and Mississippi and Texas and all these other southern states. So they didn't come from Mississippi. And why would you think Mississippi was special? And if it was so special, then why would our ancestors who come from Africa leave Mississippi to go back home to the motherland? See, these are questions that you can answer. So there's nothing special about no damn Mississippi. That's a damn lie.
Mississippi, something about Mississippi. Because the long-term vision of the Mississippi campaign is to exodus, and not really just to Africa, but any on this earth, because you have a right. You can go anywhere on this planet that you feel comfortable.
Then if that's the case, Talik, because according to your campaign is Mississippi, Operation Mississippi Exodus. So basically your campaign is you want black folks to escape to Mississippi. I thought that was I thought that was part of was your idea, was that you want to make Mississippi the safe haven for black folks. So now you're telling the people, well, you can access anywhere you want. You don't have to. It's not. So basically, you're saying, well, it don't have to be Mississippi. It don't have to be Mississippi. But why you keep calling the Mississippi campaign if we can go anywhere we want? I'm a little confused.
Any place on this planet that makes you feel like a free man and woman, that will give you the justice, give you the freedom, give you the equality that you deserve. Whether it is Africa or anywhere on this planet. So, the ancestors of those in Liberia came from a plantation in Mississippi.
Right. They came from a plantation in Mississippi. And you want people to go back to the plantation. That's how I'm looking at it. You want black people to go right back to the plantation.
Incredible. The problem, and I also know that this is a great problem. That's why I'm telling us, and maybe later on today I will finish my talk about the transformation of black people And Liberia is a perfect example because our ancestors who were in Mississippi, they actually did leave this country and moved to Africa.
Now, there you go. There you have it. There you have it. And so you have to understand that when you're dealing with slavery, I'm talking about the transatlantic slavery. We're not talking about the sub-Saharan slave trade, but we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade. When Europeans from Europe, we're talking about slavery pretty much started in the what? In the 1400s among the Portuguese. By the 1500s, you had Britain, right? And that's how they discovered, that's how they conquered this land and everything else. And so you're saying, so basically, that they enslaved some people and from Africa, brought them to here in the States. And some black people, some of our people, some of our ancestors did go back home. They did go back to the motherland. Some of them could not. And let me say this, and it with the ones that went back to Africa, right out when Lincoln was president, and you're talking about generations, you're talking about centuries. You're talking about centuries. So those ancestors that he's talking about, that Talik's talking about, he's talking about the descendants that went back home. He's talking about the descendants that went back to Africa. So my question is, then why are you bashing Pan-Africanism? Because those black people, those descendants who went back home, knew their history. They knew their history. Those descendants who was talking English, who got accustomed to to Europeans' behavior, or I would say the way of life, they knew. They didn't forget where they came from. They knew where they came from, and they decided to go back home and to reconnect themselves to their culture. Just like Khalid Muhammad said, we was robbed of our language. We was robbed of our history. We was robbed. And those that went back to the motherland, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And those that just stayed, they just stayed because maybe they didn't have the funds. They figured, well, we have land, we could just settle here. But that don't mean they want to be part of this United States government. But you want to make mockery of Marcus Garvey. Well, I'm gonna mention some quotes. I'm gonna mention some quotes. What it means about being Pan-Africans. So I'm gonna mention some quotes here. Now, according to Marcus Garvey said, Africa. This is coming from Marcus Garvey. He said, Africa for the Africans, at home and abroad. Now, Pan-Africans, it means abroad. That's what the word pan, it means, abroad. This is the reason why I say I'm African, but I'm African from abroad. So I have to put Pan-African. This is what Marcus Garvey said. Africa for Africans, at home and abroad. This is Marcus Garvey. Now, we're not going to stop there. Now, of course, Talik, if you're watching, you know very well of Khalid Muhammad, a powerful warrior, an ancestor, a hero. And when he said this quote, and I'm going to read this quote, he was in the Nation of Islam. And I'm very surprised that how this idiot, Talik Angel Snup Snup 7, or whatever you want to call himself, bashes the Nation of Islam when he learned a lot from the Nation of Islam. And so that means you don't give a damn about Khalid Muhammad. You don't give a damn about Malcolm. Hell, you don't even give a damn about Elijah Muhammad. But what Khalid Muhammad said, Africa is not only our home, it's our throne. And from our throne, we rule our home, which is 196,640,000 square miles of the planet Earth. So, Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I'm sorry, Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, Africa is not only our home, Africa is our throne. So you want to sit here and bash Africa, and you want to bash. So when you bash in Africa and you bashing Pan-Africanism, you're bashing your ancestors. You don't give a goddamn about those ancestors that you're talking about in this video. To you, they're pieces of trash. To you, Talik, they're pieces of trash. So I'm going to play this last video. I'm going to play this last video here. And I'm going to have some fun with this one. I'm going to have some fun with this video. We got to chop this shit up. We got to chop this up. Let me take this out. Here we go. Let's chop this up. Let's make fun of this. This is I didn't even know. This is another video where him and Alquan go at it. Now, I ain't going to front. This video was so funny. And they both, it's kind of like they was fighting themselves. You know, Alquan had Talik against the ropes. Talik came back. But, of course, I give it to Alquan. I think by decision, Alquan won the debate. This was a debate, but it was really funny. We're going to definitely play with this. Let's play with this. Let's play with this. And I hope everybody hear this because this is some funny shit. Now look at this. Look at this fat fuck here. This you could tell he's this nasty butterball looking dude. This is one of Talik's lovers. And then you're gonna see the mammy chick in this video too. Here we go.
I don't see it at all. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm having a hard time believing in a God that would allow this type.
Now let me say something about this mammy chick. She had said a lot of mean things on my chat when I ethered while I was ethering the Mr. the nutcase. And let me tell you something. This chick don't have no children. She's miserable. She tried to have an affair with her pastor, and her church, pretty much the people in the church started bashing her and her ways, and now she wants to blame God because God is not blessing her with anything. Now she wants to blame God. Now remind you, who the fuck that she's connected to? She's connected to a spirit killer. And when you're a spirit killer, you can never grow. This is the reason why she's miserable. She's always talking about, oh, I don't see this, I don't see that. And she's a loser. She's a loser. And this is the type of black woman that no black man should want to be with. That she's not a sister, she's not a queen, she's a mammy. And she give sisters a bad name. Real talk. So brothers, stay away from women like this. Stay away from like this, where she's looking at another man from a ghost of a ghost point of view. And let me tell this to this noble Levine. Let me tell you something. You, dear, is a disgrace. You said you worship Jesus. You claim that Jesus is a black man, but you never seen Jesus. You never seen Jesus. You got black men out here grinding, trying to protect and serve our sisters, and you overlooked us, and you still overlooking us. You're an ungrateful piece of shit. You know what? I'm your God. You worship me. And let it be the last time you coming on my chat live disrespecting me. Let it be the last time. How dare you? You got good brothers out here fighting for y'all, fighting for women like you. And then you're gonna look up to some ghost. Look how you looking out in the sky, looking at the sky for some male ghost to come rescue you when you got brothers out here putting their life on the line for y'all, for you. I'm not gonna say y'all, but for you, people like you. You're ungrateful because you're connected to a loser, and you're connected to a guy who don't give a shit about black women, who's anti-life. So you're no good and you're ungrateful. If you're going to worship me, worship me. I'm living, I'm in flesh. You could talk. We could talk. We could communicate. You can't communicate to no ghosts. You never seen Jesus. You don't know what Jesus looked like. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, if Jesus was so real, how come Jesus not in the history books? Can anybody answer me that? Can anybody answer me that if Jesus was real, or Moses, or anybody, or any of these characters in the Bible were real, how come you don't hear about them in the history books? All this schooling from pre-K all the way from high school, you don't hear about no Jesus Christ in none of the history books. On world history or US, you don't hear none of that shit. Only time you hear about Jesus is inside and that you read in some Bible. So it's nonsense. It's bullshit. I just want to get that off my chest because this chick, she's lost. But look at who she's hanging with. Look at who she's connected to.
Type of human suffering to continue on and just it's really redundant at this point. It's redundant. It's ridiculous. You know, people are on the streets. You know, there should not be 68,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. That ought not to be. That's an embarrassment to this whole country.
Sure is.
If we have that amount of people that are homeless, living in their vehicles or living in makeshift tents all over the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. And, you know, I just feel like, okay, you know, everybody, you know, they say this is a Christian nation. Well, you know, we don't act like a Christian nation. We don't act like a Christian nation. We act more like a satanic nation than a Christian nation.
Right.
I mean, we leave our poor to rot on the streets, and you know, we don't help the poor and needy. We don't uplift them, get them out of this situation.
Let me fast forward because she that's all. And see, this is my question is, do something about it. You complain, but you're not putting in no work. And if you claim that if you support the Mississippi campaign, then where's the evidence? And that's all his partners in crime, that's all they do is complain. They complain about the government, they complain about the religion, they complain about church, but they have not changed anything. And this is supposed to be these two crabs, his partners in crime, who don't do shit but complain and bitch all the time in videos. But I'm gonna fast forward because I want to get to the battle between Alquan and Angel Snuffs Up 7.
Somebody's trying to get into your chat.
Yeah, they're here. They are Alquan.
Oh, okay. I'm constantly searching and praying, searching for God, and I'm praying and hoping things would get better in my life, and it seems like things are getting worse, a lot worse.
Yeah, I know that I go through towns, you know, small cities and towns, you know, almost every day. And when you talk about, you know, over 50,000 homeless just in the Los Angeles area, I go through little small towns and cities that the population is like 5,000. So you have a homeless population in the Los Angeles area, really is the equivalent of almost maybe five towns or cities. And, you know, they are actually a city to themselves, the homeless population. And that's just Los Angeles. What about right here in the St. Louis area or the homeless in Nebraska where Brother Talib lives, all over this country? How can we even sleep at night? How can we even live with ourselves being citizens of this nation, talking about you the richest nation on the planet, most powerful, and we got all our citizens? A citizen is almost like saying, do you know how many generations of people that is, 2,000 years? Well, you can't rush it. Look, we're in a bad situation. If you get in a car accident, you're in a bad situation, you expect the ambulance to make a move. And all the other cars on the highway get the hell out the way so this ambulance can get through because this is a bad situation. We are in a bad situation. With Jesus in the ambulance, get him the hell from here, okay? That's what that needs to happen. But it's not happening. He's still waiting. He won't be bleeding to death. Heart getting ready to stop. Jesus ain't made it here yet. Come on now. I mean, and the same thing with all these religions. Ain't no different. Islam ain't no different. They waiting, the nation of Islam waiting on the mothership to come out the sky and do all this miraculous stuff. You know, everybody's waiting on some miracle to come out and do something. It's not going to happen, y'all. People put us in this condition. It's going to take people to take us out of the condition. Just like Dr. King said. Dr. King said, or I quote, because I didn't hear him say it. Don't tell me, oh, you know Dr. King said that. I don't know what Dr. I wasn't around. They said that Dr. King said evil exists because good people do nothing. And that is exactly right. Because I see a lot of good people, y'all ain't doing nothing, because clearly you must be good for nothing.
It's all about fear.
You know?
I agree. What we do have to do, we have to get it together. We have to stop messing with the religion.
Yeah. Which
is true. But at the same time, we can't convince and try to talk people out of religion. That is a waste of time. That's been going on for over 2,000 years, more than that, really.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yeah.
So you have to show and demonstrate to people a better alternative. Then people will get on board. And that's why I know you're going to take this as a...
And here we go. Here we go. You're going to attack the Mississippi campaign. Oh, man. This was a great... This is dope. Here we go.
Shot at you, but this is why when I say when it comes to that Mississippi campaign, you can't stay away from it. Mississippi and expect everybody else to go. You got to go to it. And then demonstrate to the people, hey, this is what's working. See, I'm here. I'm taking advantage.
And he's right. You're supposed to go to Mississippi. You're supposed to get connections with the officials, with the governor, with the mayor. You gotta get the ball rolling. You gotta get the ball rolling. Now he claimed that he's from Mississippi. He was raised there. So you familiar with Mississippi. You familiar with the government there. So even if you got to run for office over there yourself, at least we can say, hey, you know what? This guy's serious. Maybe, hey, you be surprised. That's how you inspire people. You inspire people through actions. Remember, they say faith without actions means death. Faith without actions means death. So if you're not putting in work, then it don't mean nothing. You're just wasting people's time and energy.
Of it come. And like I say all the time, that's the same demonstration that people did when they went to Atlanta.
Right.
They said, hey, I'm here.
Right. If people show me they're interested, I'll be happy to roll. I'm not gonna go there and live there no time soon. I was born there. I have no problem with Mississippi. I was born there. I have relatives there. I can go to Mississippi tonight if I want to. Hey, let's get that straight. I was born in Mississippi. I was raised there. My relatives there. That's what my roots is. If I want to go to Mississippi tonight, there's nothing stopping me. But this is the thing that you have to understand. If the people are not showing me they are interested, then I'm not interested either. When the people show me they are interested, then I'm willing to do the work.
Now you heard what he said? He said, well, if the people's not interested, then I'm not interested. Then I'm not interested. But Alquan raised a good question. Well, if people are not interested, if you're not interested, then why you keep mentioning it? Why don't you just said, okay, just forget about it and just move on to something else?
That doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to work and sacrifice for no Negroes, and I do all the work and they benefit. I'm not Dr. King. I'm not going to get shot in the neck for some Negro.
But you have to.
I'm not flex. I'm not going to get blown away for some Negro.
And see, that's coward. You see what we're saying? This is a man that's a coward. You're afraid to get killed. You're afraid of this and that. Wait a minute, I thought because you claimed that you was in a crazy pen for like what, 10 years? So you living in fear. That's fear talk. That's coward talk. And you think I want to be connected to that? He's not a warrior. And now you don't want to put your life on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's your passion, one thing about someone's passion, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. If you have a passion to play sports, play any type of sports, you're gonna do it. You're not going to worry about what people say or do. You're not going to worry about. You're going to go out there and you're going to say, "This is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is my goal, and I'm going to do it."
And and the people are a bunch of ingrates. Like right now, the people are a bunch of ingrates. They're not grateful for what Dr. King did, or Harriet Tubman, or any of our people prior to us. They sit around here and enjoy the benefits of somebody else who gave their life and sacrifice and suffer. I'm not going to do that. When people send me emails, when people show me they are interested and want to do the job and get the job done, then I'm ready to roll. Until then, hell no. No, I'm not.
Now that just shows you those two crabs, Levine and and his boyfriend Talib. You notice they never said nothing. They never said, "Hey, you know what? We're doing something," because it's obvious they're not interested. Because trust me, if the ball was rolling, they would have got involved. And you notice through the whole going back and forth, those two crabs did not say anything. They enjoyed it. They loved it. Because these people ain't about shit. They ain't about nothing. They getting paid just to, they getting paid because Talik is paying these people to promote him. This has nothing to do about no Mississippi nothing.
Not doing a damn thing.
You see, that's what we call stagnation. Because that's what we call stagnation.
Well, they stagnated. I'm not the one stagnated. They are the one stagnated.
No, but you're the one who came with the idea. You got to get the ball rolling.
I'm not going to do nothing. I got the ball rolling. I got the ball rolling by saying, "This is what. Who want to come and help?"
Okay, let me get the ball rolling.
When are you going to do it? You ready to come and help me?
All right, let me get this other ball rolling.
No.
Everybody,
No. Are you ready to help me?
Well, again, I got to see if it works. And
no. You're gonna see whether or not it works because you're gonna be right there with my happy ass doing the work.
Well, no, that's not how it works.
No, that is how it works, sir.
It's just like when you work.
No. Don't try to scheme out of it.
I'm not scheming out. Don't try to.
I hear what you're saying. Are you ready to help me? See, I joined Minister Farrakhan. I helped him work for 9 years.
Now, see, that's two different things. The Nation of Islam was already established. Talik was not around in the 1930s. He didn't join forces with his master, Wallace Farad Muhammad. He didn't help him create the Nation of Islam. So that's a poor example. He only been with the nation for 10 years, but it was already established. It was already established. Hell, he wasn't even around when Malcolm was around.
I helped him. So they can't tell me, well, you didn't help do the work. No, sir. I helped do the work for 9 years. So I have the right to talk.
Right.
You want to have the right to talk. You want to tell me something. You get here in the trenches with me and let's get the job done.
Check it out.
If you're not willing to do that, then why are you running your mouth?
I'm going to show you why I'm running my mouth.
I need to do.
Check it out.
You're not willing to do nothing your damn self.
I hope you're not going to try to overtalk me so I can put this wisdom forward. Check this out. Now, when you go to your job, in order to get the job that you got, somebody had to demonstrate that this job is beneficial to you.
That's true. He's right. He's right. That's the reason why you apply for a job. You be like, "What? This shit works. All right, I can get paid for it. All right." You gotta, it's already established. He's right. Alquan he's absolutely right.
So you better come get on board, right? I know you want to say yes.
We're not talking about no job. We're talking about you're talking about a job that already exists. I'm talking about
the Nation of Islam already existed too.
On floor, let's get it on. Let's move. I ain't talking about what somebody telling you. You can come after the fact. I'm talking about getting something started from the ground up. I'm not talking about something that already existed. Oh, you come and bring somebody into the fold. No, I'm talking about you join me, Alquan, get in the trenches with me, and let's do this.
See, here's the thing.
Let's do this thing.
If you were serious about it, you would go lead the way like a general and say, this is what I'm doing, what I'm establishing.
No, I'm not trying to be a general, sir.
No, I'm saying this is what you would do. Because once people see it,
I'm not a general. I'm not a general, sir.
If you build it,
I'm not going to build a damn thing.
Wow.
Then what are you arguing? What are you telling people about a Mississippi campaign?
I'll offer you something. It's just like the story of the Little Red Hen. The Little Red Hen went out and said, look, who will help me put these seeds in the ground? I ain't gonna put no seeds in the ground. Nobody will help me put the seeds in the ground. The wheat is who will help me thresh the wheat?
You, sir, is not the Little Red Hen. See, the Little Red Hen, even though the Little Red Hen didn't get no help, guess what? The Little Red Hen did it anyway. She did it anyway. But you, sir, you not doing anything because since nobody's not helping you, quote unquote, helping you, you're not going to do it. So you don't never compare yourself to the Little Red Hen.
All that type of stuff the Little Red Hen had to do. But when everything is done, here everybody come. I want you to be on the ground.
That's how it usually works.
I want you to see, but I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that. When I eat
if you're not doing that, then you're not really doing anything.
When me, whatever I do, if it's myself, Brother Talib, Sister Noah, we get together and do something, all of us going to enjoy our work. The hell with you, Alquan,
and you heard what he said? He said, if we decide to do something. So these guys, so he knows that his partners in crime ain't going to do shit. That's what he said. Well, if we decide to do something, so what the fuck you have them for? They're not going to willing to help. And you see how they sit back and they never said, hey, brother, you know what? We'll help you. What do you want us to do? And they sat back and they enjoying the show because they know they don't want to be part of that. They don't want to be part of that Mississippi campaign crap.
That's a fair thing. If you want to do that, but if you say you're about the people, you become the hierarchy, and everybody else they get the crumbs. But
I don't care about the crumbs. They ain't gonna get my crumbs.
Hold up, aren't you the same guy who said I don't care, you can come as you are, I'm about helping the people, liberating the people? Aren't you that same guy? Uh-oh. Aren't you that same guy who says I don't care about your lifestyle, I don't care about nothing, as long as you're black, I want you to be free.
Yep, he said it. Yes, true. He did say that. He did say that, which I proved to you. And earlier, he did say that. He did say that. Go ahead, Alquan. You on the roll.
Bring it.
Huh?
That's right. Bring it.
Right. So what are you talking about? You ain't getting the crumbs if I get some.
Because you're not.
See, man, this is
no,
why.
Because you're not. That ain't how it works. And it's not
this
fair.
is what we call selfish.
It's not fair for us to act the way that we do right now. When Dr. King took a bullet and all these people in front of us took a bullet and we sit around here like ingrates.
So this is why I criticize is because everything you say adds up to stagnation. Go nowhere stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's right.
Don't blame me. You blame me.
No, I gotta blame the man with the idea.
Yep.
You don't blame the man with the idea. The people don't want to move.
So,
wait a minute. He said, "Don't blame me." Yo, this dude is a dick. Yo, you know who came up with the idea? You gotta be blamed for it. You gotta be blamed for it because you ain't starting it. You can't. And then you're gonna try to compare yourself to the Little Red Hen. The Little Red Hen did it anyway. That was her passion. That was her passion.
The main person doesn't want to move. Why would you expect people to want to move?
Because it's not about me. This is not. If it was personally about me,
it's not about you. Why are you trying to force the Mississippi campaign on people?
I'm not forcing nothing on you, sir. I'm not forcing nothing on nobody.
But why? How come when people say I'm not with that, then you get pissed?
No, I don't. When you attack my idea, then I have the right to defend this platform.
Okay, but if you're not putting your idea into fruition, then it doesn't matter.
I have to put nothing into fruition.
What do you arguing about then?
That's not no requirement. What do you mean I have to put something into fruition? Fruition? What you talking about?
What do you mean? You come up and say, let's take over state Mississippi, but I'm not going. I'm not going.
What you
verse.
That's me more than one. Well, come on then.
I'm not going because I've never been to the South. So shit, what the hell am I going there for?
That's the
Word.
first time. I never said that's another lie that you keep telling. You don't have to go to Mississippi, sir.
Then how do you expect us
That's
to get
another lie
done?
that you
Oh,
spread.
you said, I got
do not have to go to
you said
Mississippi.
influence the people, right?
Influence.
Okay, how come they
Inspire.
can't influence themselves then?
Influence and inspire the
So why does
rest.
it have to be Mississippi?
If they do not want to do it, then the hell with it.
But why does it have to be Mississippi? Why can't it be Missouri?
Are you that thingy in your mind? Are you so out? Are you so educated that you don't understand simplicity? If the people don't want to do it, then it ain't gonna get done. I'm not.
If the people don't want to do it, then give it up. Then give it up. If the people don't want to do it, then give it up. Move into another idea that people would like. That's what ain't that common sense? If you put out an idea and people say, no, that's not going to work, or we're not feeling that idea, and then give you a couple of reasons why it won't work, then why don't you bring another idea that will work? Why don't you go, you take the RBG, but you know what? It's working. It might be slow, but you know what? Our ancestors put something for us and it is working. It is working. Now, your idea hasn't even kicked off because number one, it's not your passion. You don't really want to do it. You don't want to do it. You was hoping somebody else to do it. That's the two crabs that the partners of crime, they don't want to do it. But you want to just bash and make mockery to your own. You just like another Tommy Sotomayor.
I definitely agree with you on that. If the people don't want to do it, it's not going to get done.
Exactly.
They don't want to do it, so it's not going to get
It's
done.
right,
It's
right.
not gonna get done.
Right.
And here you are, if you want me to do something so bad, you join me, and both of us together, we can make that move. But you don't want to do nothing. What you want to do is sit back in the cut and criticize.
No, I only criticize. I actually said it was actually a decent idea, but I said the man who comes up with the idea.
The man who comes with the idea, you can do it by your damn self.
What are you arguing for?
You do it.
Nobody else is doing it, but when people don't do it, you say, "Oh, nobody's helping me out." But you gotta.
It's simple, sir.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. He comes with an idea, but you want other people to do it. So I came up with the idea, so y'all handle it. And so he sit back on his ass, and he'll get full credit and say, "Oh, well, it was my idea. I should get praised." While everybody did all the hard work, did all the grinding, and he wants to get credit for nothing. This is what he's saying. This is what I'm getting from this moron.
People don't want to make the move. Why should I? I'm not going to work for your happy ass.
Because you're the one with the idea. That's why.
There's no benefit for me to help you.
There's no benefit for anybody else if you don't demonstrate that there is a benefit.
And God help those who help themselves. You don't want to help yourself. I'm not going to do all to come out here and do the damn work.
I'll tell you what, I'll accept that, but
you don't want to do a damn thing.
I'll accept that, but from here on, you shouldn't mention
You want me to.
Thank you.
You want me to.
He said I can accept that, but for here on, you don't mention the Mississippi campaign again. I agree. If you're not doing it, then stop talking about it. No one gives a shit about that Mississippi campaign crap. Okay? This is your idea? That Mississippi Exodus garbage? Nobody don't care about it. You don't give. Because people don't care. They don't like the idea. They don't like it. So move on to create another idea that people will agree on. That's just common sense.
Well, first of all, you're trying to get a sound clip. Put it on your channel, sir. Look.
This guy's sick.
This is the thing. You want me to make a move, you come help me. When I talk to all these people, I'm willing to help them. I'm willing to get in the dirt with them. I proved it. I was with the Nation of Islam for 9 years.
But that was an already established thing, wasn't it?
Yep, that was. It was already established.
Don't make no difference. I worked that program. I help all kinds of people.
But you joined because it was
During the whole time I've been here, since I was a little boy, I've helped all kinds of people. I've helped the poor. I've helped the Morside Temple. I've helped the Hebrew Israelites. I've helped a lot. Matter of fact, I helped the Christian church.
Man, you sound like a gangster.
I can't even tell you how many pie sales
Alquan is stupid.
So I'm not tripping with stuff like that. I will help you. Now the question is, since you got all this stuff to say, are you willing to help me?
No, I said it before. Check this out.
Check this out. Now this dude's talking all this stuff.
Well, let me just answer real quick.
Now this guy talking all this stuff. And I think
I'm willing to help you.
I gave him $50 for his.
He's still crying about $50 promotion a year ago.
Yeah.
Man, that was a promotional $50.
How much? I don't give a damn if it's promotion.
That's true. That was a promotional $50. He wanted Alquan to promote him, and he paid Alquan to put Angel Snuffs up on a map. You've been making videos for almost 11 years, going on 12 years, and you still not popular? But you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get jealous of Sarah Sudistedi and Umar Johnson, because these people been around the same time you've been around, and they got all these subscribers, and you still got your little few subscribers, your little handful of subscribers. Something's terribly wrong, buddy.
Motion or whatever. How much you give me?
So I'm giving you my time. You're exciting YouTube lives right now. That's what I'm doing.
Right. He's giving him his time. He's right. This is what he paid for. This is what Talik paid for. You paid Alquan $50 so you want Alquan to give you some time.
Now, how much did you give me?
I'm giving you this exciting YouTube live right now. That's
so you're not giving me an exciting damn thing. You can get going back to your own right ass channel and excite them more. There's nothing exciting about it. I mean, you sit here and you're faceless. Nobody don't know who the hell you are.
Well, I'm not faceless.
Faceless.
I have a face.
Turn the camera on so we can see who the hell you are.
I don't have a camera. I'm not.
You're a liar, man. Come on, get out. Alquan goes all over YouTube, messing with Sonata, messing with whoever he can find, the BIA or whatever. See, I show my face.
You mess with them too. So what you talking about?
I show my face. I'm right there in the face.
That's not a rule. I don't have to show my face.
Because you're scary.
I'm not scared. I just don't have to.
We don't know. What are you about? What's your purpose?
My purpose is to truly unite the people and stop the BS and get to
No, you're not.
But
no,
I don't
unite the people. How do you unite the people when you ostracize our gay and our lesbian people?
Because those are not the people I'm interested in. That's why.
Don't say the people. Say your group. Say your cult. Your cult. Your group.
Why are you interested in united homosexuals? Explain that.
Because Talik is a homosexual. That's why he wants to unite. He been with that fat fuck right there. One of his partners in crime. That nasty looking fat nutty professor fat fuck right there. The blob with the glasses. You know what I'm saying? That's his lover.
That to us. I said, why are you interested in uniting homosexuals? Why is that a priority for you?
Good question.
My people are diverse. Plumbers, electricians, lawyers, doctors, gays, lesbians, who gives a damn?
Hold on. Plumbers, doctors, and homosexuals, those are two different things.
That is two different things. He's right. You can't compare a profession and a lifestyle. That's two different things. Two different. The man is confused. See, the man is confused. The guy's an idiot.
The people are different.
Those are occupations and trades, but homosexuality.
Whatever the people are, Christians, Muslims,
you can't run a society like that.
The people.
Okay, that include black criminals as well?
The descendants of slaves born in America, the people, they are diverse.
Does that include criminals?
Right. As long as long as they're black, it could be gangs that kill other black people. They should deserve justice and equality. Homosexuals, black people that bring that married to the enemy, they all deserve justice and equality. So my question is to Angel Snup, why would you, if you claim that you for the people, why would you want to bring the enemy among the people? If you claim that you for black people, that's part of the LGBT the LGBT organization, but that organization is not run by black people, it's run by the enemy. But they're going to be stationed in Mississippi. Then you claim that you support, then you claim that you want the gangs over there that kill black people, other black on black crime, Negroes, that you want them, hey, as long as they're black, they can come on in too. They deserve justice and equality. And then you got this swirling where they're going to bring the enemy, because they're married to them, they have children by them, so they're going to bring the enemy, and it doesn't matter if they're white, yellow, red, brown, they're all the enemy. Anybody that's not black are the enemy. So they're gonna bring them in. So this is what you support. You love this rainbow coalition type of movement, but as long as black people benefit, you okay with that.
You're talking about your particular clique. Well, you do that for your clique.
Because you gotta stop the BS and start working on the works. That's why. You can't include everybody.
You don't represent what the people want. Matter of fact, you ain't asked the people for a damn thing. I'm part of the people, and you don't represent me.
Yeah, you're not the kind I'm trying to attract. Because you're the kind who's not going to do anything.
Right, exactly.
What have you done since you here?
I have reproduced black people. That's what I've done.
You have what?
I reproduced black people. That's what I've done.
Where is it? Show it. Show it to it. Put it on the screen.
My children. That's what.
You what? No children. Anybody can have a child. So what? Well, you ain't getting nothing.
That's a major contribution to black people. So what are you talking about?
That's a major contribution to the cracker because you had children and the white boys to make a slave out of it.
You're paranoid with the slavery thing. Every time you drive that truck, that's slavery.
That's you damn
get over there, drive to LA, that's slavery.
You're right. That is. That's slavery. Right? And you know why slavery? Because I can't work for myself. Because bums like you won't unite with your.
But guys like you, if you're supposed to be the leader, the master,
I'm not a leader.
Why do you come with these ideas then?
I'm not a leader.
Then why you keep trying to tell people what to do?
I ain't told you a damn thing. You can do it or you don't.
Said, help me. Why do we have to help you?
You don't have to help me. You don't have to do nothing. Like you don't have to do nothing.
Why you complain when people don't help you then if you're not a leader?
I ain't complaining about nothing.
You complaining right now.
When you come here and you want to talk about trying to degrade the Mississippi campaign, I'm going to defend this platform. As long as you keep the Mississippi campaign out your mouth, I have no problem with it. But when you defend,
okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
When you come and try to make mockery of the Mississippi campaign,
I don't make
I have the right to defend.
I don't make
now, just like, and I can have every right to defend the RBG Nation, Black First movement. I have that right to defend it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it goes both ways. But see, I defend it because I'm living it. I'm producing. You, sir, Talik Amarad, you're not producing anything. So that's the difference.
Make mockery of it. I just explained the simplistic truth.
No, simplistic truth.
The man in charge says, I'm not going to Mississippi. You don't have to go to Mississippi, but target Mississippi to take it over. It makes no sense. It's like, let's invade Iraq. But let's not go there, though.
What are you getting this narrative for? I never said nothing about taking over no damn Mississippi.
He did say that. Talik, you did say that.
Look at the promotional video again, sir. Look how simple it was. It said, it does not say nothing about going to Mississippi. It said nothing about taking over Mississippi. It does not say that.
Okay, explain why Mississippi campaign.
That's a wonderful video that Omar Shabazz made.
And you had the man waste his time doing it too.
You cannot understand simplicity. All your education. Where you get your education from?
White man's college. White man's
White man's university.
Yep.
Now, first of all, how the hell you gonna ask him where you get your education, motherfucker? Where you get your education from? When I asked Talik in the past, what is your grade level of education? He didn't want to tell me. That's how I mean, because he knows he was embarrassed. He was really embarrassed to tell me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say anything. So I already know that he probably don't have a 10th grade education. He probably don't even have a 10th grade. I don't even know if the man dropped out of high school, because he probably did. But you gonna ask somebody else of their education? Unbelievable.
Somebody done taught you wrong.
Well, see, that's the problem with people who don't go to white man's university. They think they know it all, but they really don't know anything.
See, that's the reason why you have to have a picture. You have to have a picture because you shame on yourself. Yes, you are. I stand on mine.
Check this out. When I get enough support, then I'll
wait a minute, hold up. When you get enough support, but you getting on my case because I don't have no support, but I'm supposed to make this move. No. I'm supposed to be making this move on my own, but now you saying,
okay, let me say this, because right now you're getting ghetto-fied. Okay, let me clarify.
No, you don't have to clarify. You told me, why don't I make a move on my own? Just go ahead and do it. So you're the leader. How come you wait?
I am making moves. That's the difference.
Where's the move?
Once I get enough money, you're gonna see the moves.
Now, Alquan, this is where he fucks up. Now, Alquan, he ain't doing. Alquan, you ain't doing this shit. You ain't doing shit either. I'm sorry, bro. You on a roll. Don't let this dude, have you answer questions, because and eventually, he did ask you some tough questions, and you have not backed it up either, bro. I'm sorry, you have not backed up either. I'm rolling with you, but you didn't let this guy. You could have just you could have just kept this guy against the ropes, but now you're starting to get against the ropes.
Friend, you could have seen with you. We're not going to see anything. We're just going to keep hearing things.
No, because you don't see that because the people don't want that. So of course,
the people, they're supporting, just not fast enough, but they're supporting.
Where is it? Where is it?
You're going to see soon enough, my friend. And then after a while, you see my face. I don't want to end up like the irritated genie. You see the face, then you go through problems, people going crazy.
Yeah. Come on, Alquan. Stop it, bro. You come on. You've been, nah.
You full of
excuses. Okay, but so you're the one with the excuse. Check this out. I would have came up with a Mississippi campaign. Hold on. See, he's actually he's overtalking people.
He's contradicting yourself.
When you overtalk people, you don't really want people's information.
Hey, put this on your channel so your people can see how
I'm not gonna
together, man.
No, this is your exclusive. You have this one.
No, I want you to no. You put it on your channel so your people can see that you ain't as smart and educated as they think that you are.
Check this out. If I would have came up with the Mississippi,
and you are
okay, I got that. I'm a nigga. I'm a black piece of trash. I'm all that. I get that.
No, I don't never say black piece of trash.
Come on, that's your number one.
Video. I said black piece of trash. I said piece of trash.
You know what it's called? You say pieces of trash, and you say black pieces of trash.
And let me tell you something. He got that from Tommy Sotomayor. Tali got that black piece of trash, just degrading his people, He got that from Tommy Sotomayor.
Did not say black piece of trash.
Ask the two guys.
And I call them sewer rats.
They know damn well you say your people are nothing but black pieces of trash.
Did not say black piece of trash. You're a liar.
I'm not lying.
Go get the video. See, that's
got million videos. Everybody got to do is watch it.
These people always talk about, like to bring receipts. I'm going to bring receipts. Bring the receipt and show me where I said black pieces of
It's a common tactic. Bring the receipt right
show
now.
me the video. I want to see it myself. Because maybe I talked so fast I didn't realize I said.
Okay, that's a good excuse. That's a good excuse.
I know I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, anyway, if I would have came up with the Mississippi campaign, I was serious about it. I would go to Mississippi and demonstrate to the people how I'm gonna set this off.
Oh, bye.
See, this is what I mean. This is why black people don't get anywhere.
Yeah, because you don't want to do nothing.
I'm trying to explain something to you because you're not doing what you claim to do.
Go do it.
This is why you want to argue like this.
I'm not arguing. Go why? You said.
Why are you over talking to me?
You're not doing anything.
I'm trying to explain something.
You're telling me what I need to do.
No. I'm not telling you what you need to do.
Oh, so this why you been on here all since the last.
I'm telling you what I would do if I came up with the Mississippi campaign. I'm listening. Can you at least hear me so I can tell you what I would do?
I do not want to hear you. You're not saying anything.
You know?
You're not saying anything. I'm telling you what I want.
My perspective, that's all.
I don't give a damn about your perspective.
I know, because it's gonna make you look like a hypocrite, right?
I'm not a hypocrite. You don't even know what a hypocrite is.
Why don't you hear me out?
What is a hypocrite?
Why don't you hear me out? I'll tell you that.
Tell me about your work. Where your work at?
My work is all around.
The work is all around.
Yeah. But anyway, let me get that.
They both some fucking clowns, B. Well, my work is all around. You gonna see it one day, my friend. Yo, Alquan is a fucking nut. I ain't gonna front. He's like two peas in a pod. But I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are fucking jokes. This is fun. This is one of the funny debates, B. I ain't gonna front.
What street is it on?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you in a minute.
What street is it on?
I am going to tell you in a minute. But check this out.
And look at the part as a crowd Negroes in the back. They just sit there enjoying this shit. And neither one of them didn't even step in and say, nah, kill that noise, yo. Let's stick to the script. Let's stick to the subject. They just sat back and they enjoyed that shit, man. Those are suckers, both of them. That mammy chick and that punk blubber, that hefty bag homosexual that Tali was messing with in the background, got his arm in the back. He's enjoying it. They both losers. Crabs in a barrel.
See, this is this Negro type of argument.
No, you're going to tell me now. What
he's trying to stop wisdom.
Oh, I'm not going to stop you. You can go back to, you got 55, you got 55, I got Sunday afternoon. Show us what street is your work on, sir.
Okay, you don't even know the street because you don't even know where I'm at.
I don't care. Get your phone. You don't have to show your face. Let us see your work. Use your phone.
Oh, I'm not on my phone right now.
Well, wherever. You got a camera. Show it to us.
I don't have a camera.
Make a video about your work.
Okay.
I haven't seen out one video of you and your.
He has a point, Alquan. You didn't show. I haven't seen no work that you have done. I ain't seen nothing you produce. You've been making just like this nut. You've been making a lot of commentary videos, talking about other black people doing and what they're not doing. Where's your work? Where's your proof? Show us how to do it. If we're doing something wrong, why don't you show us? And if you're on point and we see it, I'll support it. If it's something I see, I will support it. I like when our people are at least doing something and trying. That's what motivates me. You know, I don't have a problem, but if you can make a comment in videos and nitpicking what other people are doing, and you just in your car making commentary videos, you're no different. You're no different than Talik. You pretty much arguing with yourself.
Damn work.
Okay, one day you're gonna see the work soon enough.
No, I know we want to see it.
Matter of fact,
How long have you been talking this stuff? Talking this stuff for a little while. What is your work?
That's gonna make me get this out.
So then you go around and harass people and spite people and try to criticize people and you don't have a
not criticizing
for money.
He's not doing what he claimed.
For your followers. This is for the people that subscribe to you. Y'all are damn fools to give a man that don't show his face your money. They actually do.
Yeah, they gonna look.
Well, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. So that means you're a fool. That means you're a fool because you gave him money and you didn't see his face. Talik, that means you're a fool. You talking about yourself. You talking about you a damn fool. You talking about yourself. You gave this dude $50. You donated to $50, and you don't even know how Alquan worked. I'm sorry, you don't even know how he looked. You don't even know how this man look, and you donate to a faceless dude. So you're a fool.
Listen to you. Come on.
They're a damn fool. What's his name? Jason Block. They done gave that man. Don't even show his face.
Yeah, he's not even doing anything though.
That goes to show you how mentally ill dark-skinned people
I can recall that you asked for money before too.
I ain't asked for a dime.
When you started that Mississippi campaign, you said take that donation.
I ain't asked for a dime.
I
did not ask for a dime. So
I know you. Yes, I know they remember that.
I did not ask for a dime.
Yes, you did.
A dime for what? I did not ask for no donations.
You said donations, and then you made African supremacy. You started asking for donations too.
I never asked for donations.
He's talking about Craig. He's talking about Brother Craig. He said Brother Craig was asked for donations. I don't remember him asking for donations, but whatever.
No.
He's lying.
You're lying.
Okay, well, anyways, this Mississippi campaign, if I were to do it, what I would do is
I would talk about the Mississippi campaign, what you wanted to do it.
Okay, my mistake. The Texas campaign. If I had a Texas
I want to talk about your work.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna segue.
So-called work. The only work that you said you made so far, sir, is you made some children.
All right, I'm gonna segue.
Out of wedlock children.
I'm gonna segue.
That's what you made.
Yeah, I did.
I know you did. Probably with a white woman, right?
Nah. I'm gonna.
You cannot even make a video. All the videos I heard from you, you can't even make a video. I guess I assume that you.
Okay, let me say. You gonna allow me to segue into that?
I assume that you live in a mixed
as you know, black people, they start pulling this technique when they don't want to hear you.
Yeah, no, we don't hear this technique because
Okay,
you like to criticize people.
He's afraid.
Yeah,
Afraid that I'm gonna bring too much out.
talk about you as a person because you don't show your face.
Okay, good. That's what I want to do. Be quiet. Talk about me as a person.
No, check this out. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time you make a video,
you're making a fool out of yourself, right?
Yes, you are making a fool out of yourself. Now look,
if I had a video,
explain this to me,
I
sir.
said, people, let's take
Explain this to me, sir. No,
I would go to Texas.
I don't know where you go.
And I make propaganda video.
Black stuff. All this black stuff. He makes videos, and as soon as a white woman with a string up her ass, damn, white woman string working out, lady. And smacking your lips, and what you sucking on?
That's so true. That's so true. He got him on that one. He got him with the right hook on that one, man. That's so true. Because every time Alquan in his car, he always smacking. Oh yeah. And yeah, he does when he does see a white, because he lives in a white American neighborhood. Alquan lived in and he said there was a few blacks there, walking around, but he lives in a white American neighborhood. He actually admitted that to me. And yes, there's white women that he checks out. That's true. That's facts.
What are you driving in the car? What are you in your car, looking at these white women? Or is that white woman?
Yeah, you want to start getting into the joking thing.
I want to know.
We can do that.
If you talking all this pro-black stuff and talking about you against interracial couples and all this other stuff.
I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that.
Why the hell you lusted for white women?
Yeah, he's lying on me. You didn't hear me say that. That's
no,
up.
You pro-black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You pro-black. But that means you against interracial relationships.
I didn't say I was against it. I said that's not what you need to do.
Yeah, but you lust for it.
Well, he said, what he said. He said, I'm not against it. I'll just tell people that's not what you need to do. So how can you say you pro-black and not be against it, not be against interracial relationships? That don't make any sense. You're supposed to be against it. If I'm pro-black, that means I'm for my sisters. You know, I'm for my sisters. I'm against interracial relations. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. You know, that's how's that work? Alquan had to explain that to me.
They pass in front of your car while you make a video, and you smack it at the mouth. That white woman show working out nice. Show looking good.
When you want the homosexual Mississippi campaign, so
Then you turn around. Then you turn around.
Are you having a dialogue, or are you just trying to act like a Negro?
Man, I was talking about in that video, they're talking about how bad black women are. Oh, you can't trust a black woman. She divorce you. They only want your money.
You know, you can go to Walmart and get a pack of T-shirts for $8 or something like that. You know,
no, you want to come here.
No, I came here to
talk about. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you and your program.
Okay, then shut up so I can talk about it.
You just go to show that you're a hypocrite. You say that you're pro-black, but you're smacking on your lips. Nothing for white women.
This man thinks he's funny. You're embarrassed.
Your audience like that too. Your audience mess around with white folk, talk all that pro-black stuff, and they screwing white folk. And who knows else? Y'all probably like dogs too.
But Talik, you contradicting yourself again, because you accept that in your reality. You're not against swirling, remember? Do I have to play that video again? When you talk about, oh, you say you black first, then you're supposed to accept black people who's in the swirling and those who's living a homosexual lifestyle. You said that. So why are you getting on this man because he likes white women, he sleeps with white women? Come on now.
Who knows what the hell y'all into? Because y'all not real. I just made a video. The costume. You wearing a costume. We can't see your costume because you have behind a picture. What costume
are you done, sir?
What costume are you wearing?
Are you done, sir?
This is my program. I can take all the time I want to.
No, I'm saying, are you going to let me speak?
No, I don't have to let you speak. You're not saying that. You're saying the same redundant, don't make no sense stuff. Talk about what I need to do. What are you doing? I will come help you.
You sound guilty when
I'm ready to help you. Since the people don't want to support the Mississippi campaign, let's support the Alquan campaign.
People don't want to support it because you don't want to support it.
I support you. Come on, let's do it. Okay. You said let's get your education. So the first step is to get your education. So what you mean? I'm too old to go back. I'm too old to go to college.
No, you're not, because when I was in college, I saw people
I'm telling you, I'm not doing that. Okay?
Well, you got to train. That's good. As long as you're doing something. Everybody can't be a genius.
Okay, then the next step you say, don't smoke and drink. Never done that.
You sure?
Never smoked and drank in my life. So
I don't know about that. But
I'm telling you. I never smoked and drank.
All right, we'll take your word for it. That is
I don't give a damn what you believe or don't believe. See, the thing about it, you think that you mean something to somebody. You don't mean nothing to me, man.
Hey, man, this guy's acting like a Negro on the street, and this is part of the problem. You have to be able to be cool.
You don't mean anything to me. I don't have to prove nothing to you.
His ghetto world.
I'm telling you, I'm willing to help you with your program. Your third step, what is your third step? Oh, your third step is to separate yourself from the Africans and the Caribbean, the Caribbean people. That's what you said.
Well, that's not a step, but that's.
I'm not holding around those kind of people, brothers and sisters. Anyway. Well, actually, I have those people in my family. I'm married.
Okay, well, you're invalid then.
So I've never had a problem with people from the Caribbean or Africa or none of that.
Okay, and well,
I ain't never been a problem to me.
That's the problem. You're a kumbaya type of guy. You like everybody.
I respect people when they're working hard to do what they need to do.
Yeah, mister, that's the problem.
See, that's your problem. You're not worried about.
Say Alquan, he's against black people from abroad, and we are broads too. You know what I'm saying? So, what does make us different from the black people that's living in these Caribbean countries? You know, because when the ships docked, that's the first stop that they went to was the Caribbean islands. So so yeah, Alquan has an issue with Africans and Africans in the islands. So he claimed that he's for Black Americans. Again, I don't know what a Black American is. I don't claim myself as a Black American. Because American is an Italian word. So I don't know what a American is. So that's Italian. I'm not a Italian. So he need to I don't he need to answer that. I'm a little confused with that.
Other people,
the real reason why you don't like Africans and the people from the island, they're doing the sacrifice and they unify and they get the job done. And people like you, only thing you know is
see what I mean? This nigga, the white man, everybody else but Black America. That's the problem.
That's right, Leonard. He sure does. He sure does.
Because you're not doing nothing.
You're not doing anything but running your mouth.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
Right. Why are you complaining when people?
And that's all you're doing. And that's all that you're doing, sir.
No, I'm doing more than that. But I can't see, we got coons out here, so that's why you can't tell everybody everything.
There you go with that coon stuff. See, look. Coon, Uncle Tom, where you learn that from?
Doesn't matter who you learned it from.
You stupid. That's too stupid to make up your own language. You gotta copy what the white people make. You gotta copy what the white people. He's a coon. He's a fanboy. He's the same stuff that the Ku Klux Klan say. You might as well.
What's your point when you say that?
Put on a sheet.
What's your point when you say that?
Bring some.
Well, it's the same thing that you call us a black piece of trash and a piece of trash. Didn't our oppressor used to call us that? Didn't our oppressors used to call us trash and all these derogatory words with scum and all that? Where do you think all those words came from?
Bring some words that you created. You said that
you're a foo-foo. You're a foo-foo. How's that?
Personality.
Bring that around. You're a foo-foo.
Sir.
You foo-foo.
Put this on your channel.
I made that up. Does that enhance the situation now? You foo-foo. Does that enhance the situation for you?
You're a cool fool. You're a simple. Here you are.
As a right now. I didn't even want to argue with you, but you started it.
You're on the white man's YouTube. You eat the white man's food, drink the white man's water. Everything about you white, but everybody's a coon. How come you're not a damn coon? I can guarantee you need to work for white folks. You got the white man's money in your pocket right now.
Okay, and so do you.
That's right, but I'm not running out of telling people. I learned my lesson a long time ago. Stop calling all people coons and sambos.
The only people who get sensitive to those words are the people.
And guess what? And guess what? And guess who made me realize I need to stop calling people coons and Tommy
Sotomayor. Tommy Soda Moisture. Watch this.
White man, right?
Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor said, "Y'all are hypocrites. Calling me a coon. That's words." That
but he doesn't like it because he knows he's a coon. That's why.
And then I said, "Yeah."
He idols Tommy Sotomayor. He really does.
I said, "Tommy, that makes sense."
Yeah, makes sense. You learn from a coon. You are a coon. It makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. So instead, you call people black pieces of trash. That's what you call people instead of coon.
That's what I don't like. See, he's still saying.
Yeah, that's your main.
I call him a piece of trash. I call you sewer rat. Anything else I feel like.
Yeah.
You might use the adjective black. But this is how lying.
Not all the time. But
this is how lying is. I call people black piece of trash. This is a damn lie. I said go to Mississippi, move to Mississippi. I never said that.
Okay.
I said, and you just
why do you call us?
That's why you racist. So we can't.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So if I were to show my face now, tell us the difference in your life that would make.
That's not the point.
You can't answer the question.
So why
ask? See, that's the thing. I don't mind people not showing their face. There's reasons why.
I keep going over this for years and years and years.
I don't care about that. When you got a big ass mouth like you, and you're talking all this crap like you do, and you're not willing to stand on your own, the only reason why you run your mouth is you can hide behind a picture. That's the only reason.
You're saying if I was in person, I would tremble in fear. That's what you're saying?
The only reason why you talk is because you can hide behind a picture. All your subscribers hide behind pictures because they cowards too.
No, they don't.
All of them are.
Whoa! Wait a minute. He gonna call somebody else a coward? Didn't he said that he ain't gonna go? He ain't gonna he want people to go in the trenches with him because he ain't gonna want to do the campaign by himself because he ain't trying to die for no Negroes. He ain't trying to catch no bullet. And he want to call somebody else a coward? Unfucking believable.
I can guarantee you, if you saw me in
I can't
person,
guarantee nothing, sir.
I can guarantee this. If you saw me in person, you would tremble in fear and you wouldn't call me a coward at all. I can guarantee that.
There's nothing about you. I was locked up 10 years in the
I'm
case.
saying, don't let the voice fool you. That's all I'm
What
saying.
makes you think I would be scared of you? I've had guns. I had niggas put guns to my head. I had the police. I had helicopters around my damn house.
Oh, so you're hardcore, right?
I ain't got nothing to do with hard. What makes you think I'm be scared of you?
I'll tell you why. Because when that white man said, I'm gonna get my gun and shoot you in the face.
I stood in a little fire car, willing to take a bullet. What makes you think that I'm scared of you?
The white man came to you, the story you told, he said, I'll get my gun and shoot you in the face. You said, I'm calling the police. That's what you said.
I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Yeah, yes you do. See, this man is a punk and a sucker, man. This is why I don't like this guy.
I don't like your happy ass either because you're a face
You have no integrity, man.
You don't have any integrity. You ain't some If you don't like the Mississippi campaign, bring the real point. Don't talk about, well, what if I'm not saying, will it or will it not work?
It won't work because you're not trying to go out there.
Now, I'm telling you, I'm ready to go with you. Let's work your program. I'm joining Alquan right now.
Okay, good.
I'm joining Alquan right now.
Good. So you can start.
What is my first assignment, sir?
Your first assignment is donate $500. That's your first assignment.
I ain't giving you no money.
It's all about.
You're not trying to do it.
I'm not giving you your.
It says all about money. These so-called YouTube hustlers, man. It's all about that money. It's never about the people.
No money.
You're not trying to do it.
Can I advertise for you? Put out
This is
flyers?
not.
So my question is, Talik, how come your partners in crime in the background ain't putting up flyers and anything like that? How come they're not doing that?
Not a TV publicity.
What do you have? What do you have? What do you have that I can direct the people to? You don't have nothing I can direct the people to.
This is not a
I want to give you $500 for what? For what?
We can build.
Build what?
Build a foundation of trust between black people and eliminate coons and times. I know that's hard to fathom because you're on the top.
I need $500 to build a trust between.
That's only a part of the
You need money to do that? What you need money to do that for?
Okay. I'll tell you what. It's better. That's something more realistic and attainable than somebody saying, let's take over Mississippi. And I'm staying at home.
Never said that. Never said that. You keep saying the same damn lie.
Okay, what did you say?
Saying the same thing lie over and over again.
Okay, I'm asking you. What did you say? You're right here. What did you say?
You up there just like the brother, just brother.
My man, I'm asking you right here, right now. What did you say?
You up there. You out here looking for
You're
money.
the source
And the
of the
reason why,
campaign.
the reason why
you
don't like Sonetta and
He
Seymour
can't back himself up.
because they do a good job of begging, and you wish you could beg and get money the same way. You ain't no damn different from they are. You're a beggar. You're a loser.
I'm a nigger. I'm a beggar. I'm a fool. I'm a sample. I'm a piece of crap.
That's your problem. I didn't call you that.
Whatever you can come up with, I'll take it all. But I'm asking you. You are here right now. If it's not about taking over Mississippi, what is it about?
Telling me what can I do? I'll tell you. I'll give you the order. You tell me.
My friend, I'm asking you about war.
I'll tell you, I'm giving you your order.
And they trying to promote no Mississippi campaign. Come on. All he did was make a YouTube channel.
Now, that's all you're going to get. And like I told you, that's all that you're going to get.
There you go. He said, well, that's all you're going to get. I'm just going to make YouTube channel. I'm going to make YouTube videos. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to continue making YouTube videos. I ain't going to do nothing. I'm just going to keep saying the Mississippi campaign over and over again. I ain't going to do shit. I'm just going to continue making videos. That's it.
Okay, that's all you got. That's all you got is a YouTube channel.
I got more.
No, you don't. Show it. You ain't never showed it. Show it to her.
I show when the time is right. I don't
when the time is right. What, 2,000 years from now? 2,000 years from now. When Jesus come back with the mother plane.
Well, I guess that's when that Mississippi campaign will take place, right?
I know you.
Wow. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Well, let me go back. He said, I don't give a damn about the Mississippi campaign. He said, I don't give a damn about the Mississippi campaign.
Ideas that you're not going to fulfill. Everything you say is based on the Nation of Islam. That's what it's all about.
You're a lie. It has nothing to do with no
Yes,
Nation
it
of
is.
Islam. Nation of Islam has nothing to do with nothing.
Yes, it is. Your whole ideology.
You're a damn lie. You're a damn lie. Get out of here. Woo, man.
This man can't take the truth. The truth hurts the liars.
Make a video. Make a video and show the Nation of Islam and compare it to the Mississippi campaign.
I didn't say the Mississippi campaign. I said your whole personality, all your talking points come from the Nation of Islam.
Hold on.
I don't give a damn about the Mississippi campaign.
I know you don't.
I don't know what that's your problem. I didn't call you. I didn't call you.
Well, whatever you can come up with, I'll take it all. But I'm asking you. You are here right now. If it's not about taking over Mississippi, what is it about?
You're telling me what can I do? I'll tell you. I'll give you the order. You tell me.
My friend, I'm asking you about war.
I'll tell you.
Watch this.
Your
And
order.
they trying to promote no Mississippi campaign. Come on. All he did was make a YouTube channel.
Now,
And act like he was
and that's all you're going to get. And like I told you, that's all that you're going to get. That's all you got. That's all you got is a YouTube
I
channel.
got more.
No, you don't. Show it. You ain't never showed it. Show it to her.
I show when the time is right. I don't
When the
just
time is right. What, 2,000 years from now? 2,000 years from now. When Jesus come back with the mother plane.
Well, I guess that's when that Mississippi campaign will take place, right? Come on.
I don't give a damn about the Mississippi
I know
campaign.
you don't.
Wow, you hear that? He said, I don't care. He said, I don't give a damn about the Mississippi campaign. There you have it, folks. There you have it. He said it. He don't care about the Mississippi campaign.
Come on. You already
People
know
don't care. If the people don't care, I don't care.
Yeah, but
I'm not a
you
savior.
didn't get
I'm not a leader. I'm not divine. I'm not a leader. I'm not your damn
So
savior.
shut up about that Mississippi campaign.
I'm not responsible for these people. They're responsible for themselves.
It's not coming up with ideas that you're not going to fulfill. Everything you say is based on the Nation of Islam. That's what it's all about.
You're a lie. It has nothing to do with no
Yes,
Nation
it
of
is.
Islam. Nation of
Yes, it
Islam
is.
has nothing to do with nothing.
Yes, it is. Your whole ideology.
You're a damn lie. Get out of here. Woo, man.
This man can't take the truth. The truth hurts the liars.
Make a video. Make a video and show the Nation of Islam and compare it to the Mississippi campaign. Make it.
I didn't say the Mississippi campaign. I said your whole personality, all your talking points come from the Nation of Islam.
That's
Where
true.
you think I come from, idiot? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you idiot. I take that back. I take it back.
I know you really meant to call me a black piece of trash.
No. I'm not even, you might be a piece of trash, but you're not black.
Wow.
You a piece of trash. You a sewer rat. You a hustler. You an exploiter. You a beggar.
You're a super troll on YouTube.
Troll
That's
high.
what you
Troll high. I'm on my channel.
got tons of videos on YouTube. Nobody wants to hear you. But you keep
I'm not on
dropping
your channel. I can make videos about anybody who I want, just like you do.
Man, but you're
That means you're a troll too.
I'm not a troll.
Well, you make videos about it. You say I'm a troll
No,
because
I show them the seat.
I'm not on Sarnetta's channel. I'm not calling into people's hang out and stuff like that. I'm not bothering
that's because you're a coward. That's why.
No need.
That's why I do.
Most of them, when they know it's me, they don't even respond.
Yeah, because they say this man is sick.
Yeah, I'm sick of reality. You're absolutely right.
Now I'm the only one with the balls. When I talk about the people and show receipts, I go confront them directly.
You don't need my receipt. You talking about me right now.
They act just like you. They get scared. They try to overtalk.
Show me the receipt.
They can't do it.
You said that you showed the receipt. Then show you. That's what I'm asking for. Since you know me so well, I got lots of videos. You making these claims. Keep telling this lie over and over again. Show
that first video I made of you, I showed some receipts when you were with that 500-pound woman trying to pull a scam. You know that. So stop that. Yeah.
I was with that woman, and nobody was putting no scam there. We was having a meeting. No more, no less. You got to pay for your damn hotel room, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for a hotel room. And when it's all said and done, it never happened.
Right.
That's why it never happened.
Right. It was a scam. See, he's quiet. Receipts, buddy. Receipts.
You don't have a receipt.
I just gave you one.
About nothing. That don't prove nothing.
You just said it never happened. I said it was a scam.
Right.
He's closed.
How is it a damn scam? We invited people for a meeting. Enough people didn't want to come to the meeting.
Look, the shit was a scam. Alquan was right. It was definitely a scam. Just like this Mississippi campaign garbage. It's a scam. He's trying to hustle people. That's what it is. It's a big hustle. He's trying to do what everybody else trying to do. So he's known. Remember, these are street dudes. These dudes didn't come up from no colleges or whatever. These guys are not business people. They're hustlers. That's all they know is hustling.
To put the money at the right price to get the price we want. So we can have a meeting.
You asking for money?
Yeah. Explain.
Were you asking for money?
No, I didn't ask for no damn money. The money went to the Marriott Hotel. Do your investigation. Do your work. Do your research.
Man is lying. I did my research.
No,
You're lying.
You're
lying.
I hate lying.
What happened to that 500 pounds? Did she leave you or did you leave her?
We love each other.
No, that's wrong. The first one, the woman was pretty, and she left him. She couldn't stay with this dude. This dude was probably creeping with other dudes, but he this guy looks like he's on the down low. So nah, that's not true. She left him. Let's keep it 100. Keep it 100, Talik.
This man full of shit, man. Oh,
what business is it of yours? What do they have to do with anything?
It seemed like once the money fell apart, both of you fell apart.
There was no money.
This
What was the money? How did we get the money?
You were trying to prove
check money order. How did we get the money?
And in the video clip I had, this video I made of you, I showed a clip where you are asking for money.
Show your receipts.
The receipt is in my video where you
don't have no receipt. Show the money. Ain't nobody know how to receive no money.
I show the money. Come on. Stop.
The cash. How did we get the money?
You keep trying to protect your image. You are like the nation. It's like Farrakhan. You lie, but your lies are caught on video.
My audience said they're done with you, man. So I'm getting ready to.
I didn't hear them say that.
It's in the chat room.
I'm not looking at the chat room.
Well, I'm looking at the chat room.
You've been lying too long.
They're sick of this. They're tired of it because you're not going nowhere.
You sound like a guilty man who got caught.
Definitely, that's so true.
Trying to tell me what I need to do about the Mississippi campaign.
He sound like he been defeated. He almost came back with Alquan, but he definitely been defeated in this debate. But as you can see, he said, "I don't give a damn about the Mississippi campaign." He said it. So I rest my case on this.
To a damn fat one.
Hey, I would have told you what to do, but you kept on over talking me. You didn't want me to
I don't
get
need
out.
you to tell me what to do.
See, so why are you saying I would have
That's why I do not know. I don't know what your purpose is. I don't know nothing about it.
You talk about me.
don't know nothing about you at all.
How can you talk about me like this, man? How can you call people
You cannot tell me nothing. You can't even stand on your own. I
came to your show. I can stand on mine. That's why I came here. You can't stand on yours.
You cannot stand on your own. What are you doing? I'm allowing you to spew.
Oh yeah, everybody can hear you.
Off a long time ago because you don't have nothing to say.
What you're doing is over talking me, though.
It ain't about over talking. If you saying something worth listening to, I'll let you speak. Brother, don't leave. I'll let you. Should I go ahead and get rid of it? I'm tired of
now you want to get somebody else. And you know
hey man, let's resume the video like we started and move on, man.
So move on. Good job.
See, my man's scared.
Now I'm gonna be honest, but I really don't like that dude. Hey man, let's get man. I really don't like that dude. And as you can see, Talik was being defeated. I give, points when I give credit when credit's due. I think Alquan defeated him and beat the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? So I think I give this round to Alquan. Again, this is the second battle. But Alquan really go win. But Talik came back full. He got a couple of points off this dude. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front. He got a couple of points. But it's Alquan got him. He got him. He defeated him.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Yeah, something you want to. You happen to have a
That's all I asked.
I can tell that. You had your time. You said people don't give you your time. I done gave you more than enough time.
You just like the DA article. Give me 10 minutes, then after 30 seconds.
Ring around the roses. You contradictory.
What it is, you scam artists. You get caught out by me, and you get mad. That's what it is. Get mad.
That's the end. Can't take it no more.
He can't take it no more. He can't take it no more.
Can't take it no more. See, what's the purpose? What's the benefit? All that for what? Now I told this idiot I will help you. What do you how can I help you? Give him $500. Are you crazy?
That wasn't number game.
Yeah, give him $5. What are you doing? He's telling me I don't have nothing tangible. I don't have nothing.
Yuck Mouth need to be quiet. Yuck Mouth need to be quiet. But I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to definitely end this video. But this dude is full of shit. And again, I'm showed you receipts, and the Mississippi campaign is a scam and it's a pipe dream. And I proved it. I really proved it that this guy is a lame dickhead. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. I can't. I would not want to be on the same panel with him. And he keep once again he's attacking me and brother Muhammad. He's trying to diverse, separate, and destroy our mission. As trying to do right. And this guy, man, he don't give a shit. He's up back to his old tricks again. And I just want my name out of his mouth, man. We could be good, but just keep my name out of your mouth, Talik. You know what I'm saying? And we good. You don't want nobody attacking your campaign or whatever, but just keep my name out of your fucking mouth. You're a loser. You're a homosexual. Your crabs in the that mammy chick. Fuck her. Fuck that snacker tooth, yuck mouth, fat fuck, that your lover boy. Fuck them all. Kiss my ass and leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's not thinking about you. No one gives a fuck about your videos. And that's it. I'm done with it. But I would never be on the same panel with your crabby looking ass. So you know, be careful with people like this, because people is what you call an Uncle Ruckus. They there to destroy. They're working for the enemy, and they're there to destroy unity of our people. You know, and again, he's up to his old tricks again, and like they say, you fool me once, it's on me. But if you fool me twice, no, wait. Let me get this straight. I made a mistake. If you fool me once, it's on you. But if you fool me twice, it's on me. So, so yeah, that's how I gotta, you know, I'm just gonna stay away from people like that, you know. So, and I just had to make a comeback. You know, it was just, you know, annoying. You know, getting these messages and people saying, "Yo, this guy's talking shit." So, and you know, and again, I just like I said, you heard him. He don't give a fuck about the Mississippi campaign. He called us pieces of trash. You know, he's against Marcus Garvey. He's against Khalid Muhammad. He's against all the ancestors. He proved, and he even, you know, he claimed that slavery didn't happen, but then he comes back because of lack of his research, knowing that black people came from Africa and landed on Mississippi. And these are receipts. So, so he can't say shit. He can't say nothing. Okay. So there was never no debate. I never called them no type of name, never called them no coon or nothing like that. That's not my nature. I never did that. He has to prove that. So, you know, he could continue driving his little white man's trucks and with the white man's merchandise, and you know, and but again, he's fading. He know his time's gonna run out. He know that, you know, he's expiring. He's like spoiled milk, you know. So that's it, man. I just had to just get this off my chest, because this was fun. You know, that argument was funny. I had to show that shit. So thanks for watching. I'm out of here, 5000 G, and until next time, peace. And yes, he's definitely played out. He's definitely played out. Peace.